Here you can see I have partially disassembled the wall. This is the rear air conditioner unit. In a lot of the cargo vans, you'll see a lot of people drill a hole on the left side. Of course, the venting for the air conditioner is all in your way in the passenger version. So drilling the hole underneath, or putting the plug underneath the van, is actually a better solution for the passenger. To get the side paneling off, this piece here you'll probably recognize if you do have a rear air conditioner passenger van. The first thing you need to do is remove the 5 screws from this rear kick panel, and then you'll be able to lift the carpet. You have to lift the carpet to get the side pieces out from underneath. So let's go underneath and I will show you where I'm planning to put the plugs. So you'll see there are 2 square holes underneath that Ford included with plastic panels, and up inside you can actually channel your cabling right up in there and through the walls to your internal plug. So one of the underneath panels are the little plastic pop-outs. I've removed it and I've drilled a hole in it and installed my external plug. I've also taken a thin piece of plywood and I have cut a hole in it and shaped it so that I can add a little bit of structural stability. I plan to fill this channel around it with some hot glue and just try to add a little more strength and structure to it so I don't pull the plug out when I'm unplugging my cable. And this Noco plug has a standard female 3-pin that will plug right in with my internal plug. So hopefully everything will reach and we can have an easy time getting this shore power set up. So for the interior plug, I'm going to mount this round plug connector. This is actually designed for a desk. If you drill a hole in your desk, you can thread this on, screw it down, and give yourself 2 ports and 2 USB ports. This is rated at 12 amps with 3 amps, 3 amps on the USB ports. So this should charge phones and devices pretty quickly on USB. And the 1500 watts on the 120 should be good. It has a nice long cord with a standard 3-prong plug here that I can plug into the external port and have my internal power. I'll put links in the description on where to pick up this little guy at. So this is the part I've been dreading since the beginning. Drilling a hole in the side for this plug. I hope that this thin plastic material is the cheapest of parts that I could possibly drill a hole in. I could never pull myself to cut that hole in the aluminum in the side. Once you do it, it's always there. Fortunately, this is removable. So I have decided to put it here, somewhat forward. So when I put my seats in, I should still have access to it if I wanted. Short behind the speaker, and trying not to hit this piece of the frame. This is one of those things you got to measure 10 times and cut once. Once you do it wrong, you're done. There you go. I'm sure the insulation on the other side is going to have a fit when I start drilling into it. And it did. It got tangled up really good. And I'm going to need a vacuum cleaner. Alright, so let's get this thing installed. So we've taken a big vicious bite out of the interior of the van. And now we're going to try to install this thing. The insulation has been made a wreck, but I'm just going to try to leave as much in place as possible. So let's thread through our power cord. And come on. Well, that is snug. There we go. All right. So Maybe that'd be a good orientation. So now we're going to add our screw ring on. Oh yeah, but first we're going to untangle this power cord that just got twisted. Oh boy. All right, there we go. Adding on our outer ring. Make sure I can get this insulation out of the way so that it doesn't cause me some heartache. Good and snug, good and snug. There we go. Okay, so now for threading this cable through the body. So this guy actually has a really good long cable. I feel pretty confident that we should have some slack left over. Don't know if you can see down in there, but it's pretty open behind the wall. I should be able just to thread this guy right on through. So far, let's get this guy off here. So we've got the cable element coming out of here. We have to get it down here. I'm sure that's all crystal clear. Let me get that down. So I fished the cable down underneath the air conditioner down to the back, and I was able to, if you can see, well, my autofocus is not getting it done, but I was able to get it to come out through a side hole. Well, here we are under the van, and I managed to fish this cable through. What a pain that was, but I am ready to install the second piece. So, we've got our cable run. We've now plugged in. I don't know about you guys, but a plug that's a part of something that's kind of permanent just doesn't settle with me all that well, but I didn't feel like cutting these cables and soldering, because this is probably better than what I would have done hack job wise soldering. But I am going to put duct tape around these two connectors, just so that nothing over time will pull them apart and cause me any grief. And I'm using red duct tape because why not? There it is. And duct tape will hold it until the next apocalypse. This duct tape will probably outlive the van. So here we have the final product underneath the van. When I want to plug in, I just pull my cover there, plug in, good to go. When I'm done, pop it back. I am probably going to add some plumber's tape screwed in with some self-tapping screws on either side, just to make sure that this guy doesn't fall out ever. One thing I'd like to point out with this NOCO plug, I chose it over a previous external shore power plug that I used because of the deep recess on the lip that actually inserts into the plug. The previous one, you can see here, had a very shallow lip, and it does not stay in place. It worked for a little while, but now it's just regularly popping out. So I searched around and made sure I found something with a very deep recessed lip to help hold it in place for the long haul, especially with it being underneath the van. That makes me feel a little more comfortable that it's a little more inset, a little more secure. All right, there we have it. One 120 volt power plug, 2 USB ports right in the side. So now I have my shore power. One cool additional side note involves my trailer. which has its own power production. If I create a what I call a no-no cable, a female to female, I can plug my trailer into my van if I do not have shore power around, and I can let the trailer supply my 120 volt off of solar and battery and inverter into my van. I hope you found this helpful, getting your transit van set up without a lot of holes being drilled. And if you guys have some happy camping, please feel free to subscribe. Have a good one.